The backswing in golf is one of the most scrutinized things in the game, and it's also one of the things that sadly is just incorrectly taught. Well, I've got a simple drill for you today that I guarantee is going to fix 3 problems that you're probably doing in the backstroke. Matter of fact, it's a drill that I gave one of my students just the other day, and they immediately started to improve and took 7 strokes off their next round. I'm PGA teaching professional Todd Kolb, Director of Instruction for US Golf TV, and having been lucky enough to be teaching this game for well over 20 years, working with everybody from a beginner all the way to tour professionals, the backswing is where it all starts. Now, there are 3 common mistakes that I see a lot of weekend warriors, a lot of people who slice the golf ball. If you slice the golf ball, you're going to want to continue to listen to this because this is for you. But there's 3 common mistakes that I see a lot of them make. Number 1 is they get the club face opened up at the top. Now, when the club face is too opened up at the top, that in itself doesn't cause them to slice the golf ball or doesn't cause them to necessarily hit a lot of bad golf shots, but it does make them more prone to hitting those types of shots if they cannot fix it in the downstroke. So my philosophy is, hey, let's get the club face squared up at the top to begin with so we don't have to fix something on the bottom. And the drill I'm going to share with you at the end is going to help you do that. That's number 1. Number 2, a mistake in the backswing that a lot of golfers make is they tend to separate their elbows. This comes a lot, I think, from maybe lack of flexibility or just understanding how the body kind of works together. A common mistake, I guarantee you, if you're over 40 years old, you're probably doing this, and I know that because I'm over 40, and it's something that I got to keep track of. So that's number 2. We're going to talk about what happens when the elbows are separating and how's that impacting our golf shots. Number 3 is a bad turn, when the arms separate from the body. That also is a backswing mistake that I see a lot of golfers make that, quite honestly, they just can't do, but we've got a drill that's going to help you do that. So if the backswing is something that we're talking about here today, and we've already mentioned these 3 things, arms separating from the body, separated elbows, open club face, here's a simple way to fix that. Now I've got this drill involves a big ball, a small ball, and a golf club. It's really simple. Now, if you're following golf, you've probably seen a lot of products that look kind of like this. It's really popular right now. I've been using this for over 10 years, and I'm seeing it more and more when I'm on the road on the tour. I'm seeing more and more of the players use something just like this. Now, why are they using it? Well, let's go through those first few things that we talked about with the backstroke. Number 1 is the open club face. So what you're going to do, if you think your club face is open up at the top, which it could be, you want to take the ball and you're going to basically position the ball kind of low down. I wouldn't say like by the wrist because it's not going to be able to get all the way down there, but way down on the forearms. Now when the ball is positioned down by the forearms, it's going to naturally get your lead wrist, for me is my left wrist, in what we call position where the club face is square. It kind of looks something like this. That allows me to get my club face more square. When the lead wrist is cupped this way, the club face stays open. Now, I want to say this because I probably got some fellow golf instructors watching this. Just because the club face is open at the top does not mean you're going to slice the golf ball. There are some people who play good golf with an open club face, but this isn't for tour professionals, right? This is for you watching this who's just playing maybe a couple times a week if you're lucky. You want to get that club face squared up at the top. When the ball is in there and you squeeze the ball, that's going to help you get that lead wrist in a better position, help you get that club face squared up. That's number 1. Number 2, we talked about separating of the elbows. Common mistake I see with a lot of people when they start to lose mobility in their body and things like that. So what happens? They take the club away. The right elbow, for me, the trail elbow separates from the lead elbow, and the club just gets in really bad positions. Tends to get a little steep, all types of bad stuff. So once again, you can fix this with simply taking the ball. This time, I'm going to move it up just a little bit higher. So it's basically about halfway between my wrist and my elbow, and when it's in that, it's basically my forearm position. That allows me to keep the elbows a little bit more together. So when I get the club at the top, it's in a much better position. So that would be the second way that I would do this drill if you feel like your elbows are separated. The third one that we talked about here is just lack of a good quality turn. Now I believe, and I think if you look at the best ball strikers, especially a lot of the younger players we're seeing come out, right? They keep their lead arm, for me, my left arm, pretty connected, okay, to their chest. So I kind of like to take my lead arm. On a side note here, a little bit of an extra tip for you. I like to take the lead arm and basically position it right on top of my pec muscle there and kind of keep it there. And when it stays there, that forces you to turn your entire body and rotate into a good spot versus the arms separating and running away from you. Bad position to be if you want to hit good quality golf shots. So gonna go back to my little ball here, right? This ball can accomplish a lot of things. But this time, I'm gonna position a little bit higher, almost, I'm gonna say up by the elbows. So when it's up in between the elbows, what you're gonna feel is, you're gonna feel your arms kind of more connected to your chest. Not necessarily a tight feeling, but more of a connected feeling. And if you can keep that on the back swing and on the forward swing, you're gonna definitely improve your pivot and as a result, hit better quality golf shots. So let's recap here, because we've covered a lot of ground. And if you're still watching this, you're definitely learning some things that are helping you play better golf. And as I said earlier, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you don't agree with this, that's okay. Let me hear from you. I want to hear that because I love the debate, and maybe you can teach me something that I don't know. So 3 common mistakes. Number 1, club face gets open. Okay, number 2, elbows separate. Number 3, bad pivot because arms are working away from the chest. Taking a ball, position it in a few different positions along the arms can fix that for you. It's a drill I've used for over 10 years. Matter of fact, I just used it the other day with a student in about 3 balls. Boom, they started hitting the golf ball better, and the next time they went out, they shaved 5-6 strokes off their score. So if you struggle with the backswing, if you're a little bit confused, this simple drill will help you do that. Be sure to subscribe, be sure to leave a comment. We love hearing from you, and stay tuned for more great information on how to help you play better golf.